10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Elder Titan.
Dire team pick.
And we're back and ready for our second winners bracket match of the day here in Southeast Asian TI6 Regional Qualifier Play. 2 of the 4 teams will go to the Seattle main, or rather, will travel to Seattle. One of them into the main event, the other with a shot to play their way through the wild card. I'm Aldi. I'm joined here by Gods. It's time for Warriors Gaming versus Execration. Winner plays Fnatic in the winner bracket finals. But you still have to punch your ticket all the way through the grand finals in a straight best of 5, Gods, to qualify.
Tough road.
It's a long road,
yeah.
Only 2 days, but it's a lot of games.
The thing, like, you win this and Fnatic away, and it's like, even if you get through Fnatic, you're not
you have
there
to beat
yet.
them again, and that time in a best of 5 if they make it back, so.
The good news is if you make it through and you lose to Fnatic, you get another shot, so.
You know you're going to Seattle. At that point.
Yeah, getting to Seattle, I mean, for any of these teams in this region, I mean, Fnatic, obviously, the expectation on them is that they get there, but for any of the other 3 teams, Execration, WG, as well as Wi-Fi, like, just a trip there to play wildcards is a huge accomplishment.
So, thoughts on the draft as we see it develop here, Gods? We do see that Terrorblade first phase ban again, so it seems to be a emerging trend in Southeast Asia. I'm very interested to see if it transfers over to other regions.
Yeah, very early Voca pick. The Void has been a top pick in the SEA region. It's often getting banned out in the first stage, but the Invoker, partner of course with the Void, but being prioritized this early on, it is a hero with some vulnerabilities, even more so when you go for what is likely to be the Exalt build.
They do not secure support in phase 1, and I mentioned that for Warriors Gaming because yesterday, I've not seen too much of this team coming in the qualifiers, but Zaki has been playing like MMY. This guy was an absolute monster on the Lion, in particular. His Lion was getting first phase banned at times against the team later on in the day. Feels like a real playmaking support, but they don't get any supports here in phase 1, so I imagine that's what Execration will be looking to remove here heading into phase 2. Yeah. Disruptor, obviously, versus the Tide, another likely ban.
Take out some of those pesky heroes. Like seeing the ET, I think that's a pick that's underrated in some of these other regions. We see a few teams, I mean, Secret, one of the big ones who are playing it a lot, like OG, of course, Crit, the big players pushing the metagame, but if you have a player who can play this hero, boy, is it powerful.
So they ban the Ember, so they actually do ban another core. Someone that Elder Titan is not particularly good at catching, nor is Tide.
Yeah. Be a nice kind of fighting hero that can create space for the Invoker as well, like when he wants to maybe farm and split push lanes, Ember can go around and brawl a bit. But see what Warriors Gaming go for instead. Juggle is a good pick into the Tide, I feel. It's good in the laning stage, good in the mid game. You can fight Fury against the Ravage. Omnislash is good for bursting down the Tide, and there's the targeted ban on Execration. They've cheesed a few of the games in this tournament using the Meepo.
Get the hell out of here, Op-Ed.
No Meepo.
Oh, you're bullshit. But they do ban the Earth Spirit here, so... And surely it's got to be a Lion or a Disruptor.
Yeah, I see why not. There we go, Lion. You mentioned it, so...
I mean, hell, get both if they're available.
I know.
I mean, just pick Disruptor. This is great for Warriors Gaming.
Yeah. definitely a possibility.
How do you think Execration will run the IO? Are we going to see a Bristleback, a Sven, just a pocket IO?
I've seen them, yeah, do
Tony.
it with big carries, but I've also seen them just use it as like kind of the I call it like the Navi style, where it's just sitting behind a strong mid to secure his lane.
Like they were doing like the Dream League, like the Dendi Quap and
Yes.
casual Seneko IO dual
Wind
lane.
Ranger sometimes, like just to make sure that mid hero has like a 2v1 lane or at least a 2v2, and you've got the shared healing. So if it's a 2v2, you share healing, you harass together, and then suddenly you're winning the lane. So I don't mind that option. Invoker, a hero who doesn't really fight well into two heroes mid, doesn't really want to fight at all. He just wants to sit there farming. Definitely a possibility. I think Warriors Gaming seeing this. This is where like bounty hunter type heroes become quite strong, as far as being able to help out that mid lane a bit and just find the IO, bring him down. Ricky's still in the pool as well. Clinks is actually one of the, I mean, as far as carries go, Clinks Weaver, like these annoying heroes that can get to the back lines, invis pass.
I like Clinks a lot. It's also really good with Chrono.
Yeah.
And their Dire helps them take Roche, natural Deso builder, the early Orb as well.
So versatile. I mean, Tide just so tanky, blocks a lot of physical damage.
3 strength heroes.
4 Timber, or I guess Void can safe lane, or the Timbersaw can safe lane.
Yeah, it could go either way. It really depends on the matchup, I guess, that you're expecting. I mean, Tide does not enjoy laning against Timber, and it is going to be Tiny IO.
Well, it's another strength hero against Timbersaw. That's
Or-
the worry.
Yeah, you see Timbersaw, you pick an additional strength hero, because you think that you can beat it.
I know how this ends, LD, I think.
You die to the basketball blades. Very bloody mess. This is going to be worse than that game 7.
Yeah, I think once you see that Timbersaw, you maybe need to reconsider the tiny pick, if that's what you had in mind. Head a different direction, but hey, we'll see. WG, I'm gonna be happy about. They've set up here. Bug ban last, and
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to ban Disruptor with this draft. He's just way too good against what they have.
yes, totally agree.
Shuts down Tide, great against IO. Fits everything else they're looking to do. So they'll have to get something different. But Execration, I feel like they're the team with more holes to fill here. What do you grab?
10 seconds remaining.
They want some more damage output with the Tide isn't going to offer much, and Tiny takes a few items to come online, so they
Like
want
something that comes online quickly. Jug was banned, so what would that be?
Gyrocopter type hero could work. They could go for the Clinks. I don't like that. Clinks versus Timbersaw doesn't sound too great. But and burst damage against Timbersaw is always something you want to have as well. Like, I think I love Anti-Mage versus Timbersaw. I don't think this is a. Yeah, it's a
so-so AM game, but they'll have one pick to kind of lock him down a bit further.
It doesn't. When you've got IO Tiny, you want to have like this. You want to have a carry that can kind of fight as well, where you have the Tide ET +1 going around the map and IO Tiny relocate in. Perhaps something with catch and something with it which initiates. And then you have the IO Tiny follow it up, since Tide ET aren't really the best initiators.
Normally that would be like an axe or something, maybe even.
Yeah. I don't know if that's enough damage. Like, it's kind of hard. Some kind of blink initiating carry like
With
your
damage that comes online early.
Wraith King or
Alright, let's look at our heroes.
Sven.
Sven feels greedy though. I guess if you go Sven, then it's got to be like the tiny, just blink rush, no eggs or anything like that. Sand King, that's maybe not enough damage. Slardar,
Butter sounds good. Yeah, that works.
it's 5 strength heroes against Timber. So I mean, hell, you've already got 4. Let's just complete the
I don't know. It's a tough pick. Really tough pick here.
I think basically what we're saying is there is no great solution. There are options.
Queen. Damage out. That is damage output. So, and it's nice because they've diversified to some magic damage against magic burst damage against Timbersaw.
And an Orchid Carrier as well. So I think Warriors Gaming, maybe this is where they get a defensive support.
And we talk about burst against Timbersaw. You also want that against Void, so you can prevent the time or kill him fast.
What do you pick here?
Support.
Dazzle, Oracle, some sort of defensive hero?
I mean, Timbersaw and Void are somewhat self-sustainable. You don't think you have to go defensive. Maybe Avenge to secure your Roche taking potential, and then you've got Swap Save, but I like Venge.
Yeah, Venge sounds good.
Does
Great against the IO.
The IO Tiny. So That'll do the job as far as giving them some pseudo ways of dealing with IO Tiny and. All right.
Do you give Execration a good shot here, Goats?
I think they can outplay WG.Unity by all means. This is a team that very much relies on individual players. They've got some very flashy players, some like kind of youngsters as far as the Filipino scene goes, Nando and Abed, and then they've got the veteran captain and Chemo. So, is very much a team that maybe make what looks like a slightly disadvantageous draft work, and just by executing really well and having individual players step up. Them more than anyone else in this qualifier that's left, I feel, relies on individual players to kind of have some star performances.
Now, they did beat White Fries the last time they played, and they beat them rather quickly. Only 34 minutes to take the win there. It was an 8-1 and 6 showing from the Abed Invoker, who basically went off on them by all accounts. Okay, he'll be your Tiny this time, so here they can definitely snowball and take over if he gets enough help. WG.Unity on the other side, more of the team fight lineup. I mean, I guess with the Tide Quap potentially, we see both teams looking to 5v5 a lot. Could be a very action-packed game.
The early TP smoke, you'll get the ward down and see how things progress here. This is just going to help a bit against that IO Tiny mid.
Yeah, Saw Chuan is the guy who started doing it at Manila Major, and it seems everyone's picked up on it and started copying it.
Yeah, all the smoke becoming 50 gold, TPs becoming 50 gold. It means gold investment is getting smaller and smaller to do this.
And you get a good hill ward like this against an IO or any sort of rotating support, it could just win you the laning stage.
And it's just the smoke cooldown is what you're really investing, but often most lineups don't need smokes in the first 10 minutes anyway, so you end up having your 3 smokes again very early on.
So with that, we're going to head out to the lanes here. We'll see what the teams have cooking up. RR going to be in the off-lane Tide. They will have an Observer Ward to scout out his foals. They're running the Tiny IO mid. Nando going to be a safe lane Queen of Pain. Kind of secret-esque back when previous roster, pre-TI5, was doing really well. WG.Unity on the flip side. Looks like a Void off-lane, Invoker mid. Starting Quas Invoker. Quas flexing the cards for Nana.
Ooh. This draft,
most people would assume Exort with the Void pick.
I did not see it in the cards, but
there's a chance anyway.
Against IO Tiny.
The Rune spawns, there's a stun onto Nando, the cast will bounce back to him. He may not die here, but he'll take a lot of damage. Chemo gets off a stomp, now forced to run. But it's at least one bounty rune for Execration. Jit just got one freely in the top lane though, so nice win there to start the lanes for Warriors Gaming.
I think as far as the Invoker goes, it's perhaps going to consider Quaswex purely because Exo Invoker may just end up feeding an IO Tiny. If you're not going to, it kind of signals that he might not get too much support here. They're going to give the support to the offlane Voids to run like a dual lane setup. It's both top and bottom. So you want to fight in lane against IO Tiny, Quaswex is the only way to do that.
Yeah, the cool thing is they have that Timber versus Tide matchup, so Timber should basically be able to free farm here. So they'll have a core farming top, or farming bottom, and an Invoker getting his levels mid. But I guess the cost being that Invoker may not see us too much. Already, Tim's gonna start the stack shenanigans off in the jungle. There's a ward here, it'll keep eyes on him moving from the mid lane, so very quickly Warriors Gaming are gonna realize there are stacks in the woods to be found. I think Timbersaw could potentially steal later on.
Oh, these freaking predictions keep popping up. Let's go.
This is why I don't have a compendium on the account I'm casting from.
Please. Like updating, like anytime someone overtook the top net worth, I'm like, I don't care about the top net worth. It's a minute and a half into the game. Please, Volvo.
Man, Wen is playing aggressively. Gonna walk into a stomp though. A lot of damage from Chemo. Time walk some of it off.
Will be an Exo Invoker, so he does go commit to the better build for kind of comboing with that draft, but it's going to be a very volatile mid lane for him.
Normally this is around the time where Tiny IO will go for a kill on an Invoker.
Yeah.
Especially with that build. You'll just see like toss the IO forward, get the tether blow, then just run in, blanch him and go for the kill.
So far hasn't made the play just yet, but now that they've got the bottle with the shared regen, they can kind of afford to go in and just get him low and got a round 2.
And there's a boots advantage here with Invoker already having atrocious base move speed, 280.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about ready to jump.
I think Io's sitting back to get the tether in, so Avalanche into a toss back.
They go for the tether forward. Now they get the slow. Henny onto the toss. Get dunked, Nana, they say, but he drops the ice wall. It ain't gonna matter. Abed with the very long range final right click secures the kill. I mean, that was very predictable.
Yes, but they only just got it. That last tiny right click, he wouldn't have been able to get any more off with the ice wall. Io, I don't think, had the kill by himself, so...
He did commit the fairy fire, unfortunately, so next time he'll be a bit easier to kill. And now Tiny is going to be level 4, level 5, so the combo is heating up.
Io bottle crowing, but that's not too... It really means that Tiny as well as bottle crowing, since it's a shared regen between these two, so...
I mean, Invoker's probably going to die a couple more times if he doesn't get help, so I guess the question for me is, do you think they're getting enough elsewhere to justify this? Or should they be considering sending help to the mid lane?
It's good Aura is actually contesting the lane, since he can get farm in the lane in this 1v2 setup as tied. But Queen is by no means dominating bottom. Wen has a ton of farm on Void, 13 CS already, so I don't think they are getting much elsewhere. I think Execration as a whole laning stage is going very well for them.
Yeah, a team that is very unconventional with some of their pocket picks by most team standards. But point out the IO here, we saw the Meepo obviously earlier in the tournament as their other big cheese, though it's not that cheesy when they're willing to run it pretty much any game, I suppose, but definitely unconventional. But looking solid here in the opening moment.
Bottom river.
They find Apu.
Yeah.
So go for the TP out, the cast. Not gonna bounce that one extra time to Nando. If it did, he may have lived.
Yeah. I'll leave the rune for the IO, it looks like, who used up a bit of his regen already, but this treads Tiny at mid is...
You know what the counter to Tiny IO is, Gods? Counter to everything. An infused raindrop.
Nice. Sexy.
With no boots, I wonder if he lives, though.
Hmm.
They're gonna be able to right-click him a bunch.
He's got the rune now.
He's sitting on the ice wall, though.
Might need to. I think you just Just spam your nukes. Just try and break the raindrops as fast. They're not actually looking for a kill here.
Man, raindrops, what an item.
Maybe they are
fine. He's tanking through this. And now he's
Another raindrop.
absolutely fine.
They're breaking the raindrops slowly, though. This will be gone.
He's gonna have another raindrops.
Jeez.
Lol.
New target now, but no mana for a toss.
What an item. He literally went from, like, absolute food to unkillable god after spending 200 gold.
200 gold that will, I don't know, not really down the drain. If it saves your life, it saves you 200 gold.
He did have to use a bunch of charges, but hey, Queen of Pain even rotated for that, so that opens up the bottom lane. Void now well ahead of her in CS. Chemo getting caught out a bit here. Okay, though.
Nando's chasing, though. This bottom lane could be... Oh, they look to cancel this out, but not successful.
Well, I'm sure Nana's happy at least that he doesn't die there. He now has the boots coming out. It's all rain ready for Ajit. Lanes are stabilizing a bit here.
And we're kind of getting to that point where they want to keep killing this Invoker. They may need some more levels on Tiny, get like the level 7 or so. You may just go pressure and just jungle farm a bit. Farm his stacks up. The IO level 6. I'll look for one last stack here, and I think it is about time they just try and big camp.
Yeah, it's a big old stack.
4 stack? Bad? Or 5 stack?
5 stack. 1, 2.
That's 4.
No, it's a 4 stack.
Yeah.
Roll. That's a lot of gold. So, do you expect a Blink Dagger from Abed to build this game? Or do you think he considers the straight Ags or even a Drums?
I like the Blink. Just having being able to kind of snowball, be an initiator for now, and then transition into the DPS items after that. It does slow down your carry items a little bit, but if you get your team some momentum, get them a couple kills, it's well worth it. It pays off.
Man, Warriors Gaming are crushing in the experience department. It's the Tidehunter is getting his levels. Where are they falling so far behind? Is it just the denies? I guess the Timbersaw.
All level 4. Void. The Queen of Pain is the under-leveled one, it looks like.
Just because of that rotation mid, I guess.
Queen is level 5, while Timbersaw is level 7. And Queen's about to hit 6, I guess, but...
I guess they haven't been getting their pulls off as much in the safe lane. That must be the difference. But as I say that, Execration are about to kill a big stack, so they will catch up a bit here with that.
Yeah. Here's the level 7 as mentioned for the Tiny. The kill potential dramatically increases with this, but Raindrop still, as we've seen, good item to those kills from happening. Without the bottle charges, there may not be the sustain for Abed to really.
You really want
Pressure this
to.
lane.
You really want to try and kill Nana before he gets the Midas, though.
Yeah.
Because once he gets that, he can afford the occasional death and still be a relevant hero.
He can kind of just rotate it and become a jungler as well if once he feels like he's under too much pressure.
Give the lane to the Witch Doctor, potentially the Lion. Speaking of the Witch Doctor, or speaking of supports, Zaki being good here as far as levels goes. He's at level 5, well ahead of the Elder Titan, right up there with the Io. Basically freely pulling the lane, so it's going to be very quick finger, and against Io, that is a powerful tool to have.
Yeah, very, very nice. And see what the next move is going to be. It does feel like Execration have cards to make plays now. They've got Nando on Quap, who's level 6, so you can see TP rotations there. The Tiny just has a huge amount of damage output, level 7. Tide Ravage about to come online as well, so they've got a lot of tools to take team fights and go for aggressive plays.
Get the catapult. Uh-oh. Abed. He'll be okay with the tether. Even if he gets the combo, I really don't think they can kill him with the raindrops.
I think it's worth just spamming toss at the Invoker to break the raindrops.
Yeah.
Toss a creep onto him.
I totally agree.
2 tosses. It's very short cooldown and raindrops are gone.
How much have they run? Do you know, have they been running much Tiny IO?
Not the games I've seen, but they maybe have a bit. There we go. He uses a toss. Breaks 1 raindrop, there's 1 left. That's how you verse this in Invoker mid.
I mean, I think in the old days we would see the spam. Oh, missed Queen of Pickle bottom. That was our first Chronosphere deployed.
Chronosphere, Sunstrike, and nice kill.
Yeah,
Queen of Pain down.
Invoker grabs that, closes in on the Midas. Meanwhile, Ajit skipping the creep camps as well, or the creep wave stop, I should say. Things are looking really good here for Warriors Gaming Gods after what looked to be a potentially overly greedy start. They have found the solution.
Yeah, and now they've got the ability to make plays, start getting the Invoker not active so much, but get him kills through the Sunstrike setup with the Chronosphere, the Lion, once he can start roaming around, and he can just go jungle. Nana, very close to Midas, doesn't even want to mess around in this mid lane because of the threat to his life, is just going to say, I'm going full jungle mode, and with the Witch Doctor mid, he's kind of like the prey, where you want to go for an easy kill, you're going to go on the Witch Doctor. It's unlikely you make a full rotation into dire jungle at this stage.
Bit worried about this Queen of Pain if I'm Execration.
Yeah,
Dying wants TP mid, not finding a kill, under-leveled, under-farmed.
bit of an odd pick this game, I feel, too. Gives him burst damage, but it's a hero that just doesn't really feel like she does enough in the current metagame. This always seems to be better carry options. Even when you're looking for that kind of semi-carry snowball type hero. I just don't feel like Queen of Pain actually snowballs ever.
When's the last time you've seen like a Queen of Pain really take a game over? I guess CTY at Shanghai maybe?
Yeah, that's could well be. Yeah, the CTY days.
Long behind us.
Well, they managed to kill the Void, not letting him get the time walk off. It was a well-executed relocate gank, first of the game, and they leave Tiny bottom, so it looks like they want to take this C1 tower. There's the Blink Dagger reveal, finds the Witch Doctor. Nando, man.
Sneaking into the trees, then popping back out. They will collect that.
WG have smoked up. They have Void respawning with Chronosphere.
Oh, this could get ugly.
Can
Abed's low.
away
They
fast
don't
enough?
have a relocate out. They're going to tether. And
Gonna be healed
Tim
up soon.
out of there just in the nick of time, perhaps. Sunstrike not going to connect. Get eyes out with the Astral Spirit, and they will retreat successfully.
Abed just got a second life thanks to that IO, and Ara himself ready to kind of rotate in with Ravage, has level 8 TP scroll, but to TP and waddle his way into the fight, something that WG may not just allow happen.
So as we hit the 11-minute mark, Gods, Execration with that Blink Dagger reveal, out to a bit of a gold lead experience going the Warriors Gaming way. It is even. Avalanche toss though. The mid lane onto Afu, dragging him back. Can they finish the job? Timps is going for it with the little balls. He gets the job done, but a Sunstrike Might kill him off here. Oh, he just barely survives by slither of HP. Now, so who are you favoring here moving forward, and what are the big timings that you have your eyes on?
This stage of the game favoring Execration, but for WG, it's more like they're playing for the late game. Invoker, Timbersaw, not really true carries, but they're late game oriented heroes. Heroes who want a lot of farm.
Oh, RR has backup. Reinforcements arriving. He gets off the Ravage. They're going to turn it. They'll bring down one. Can they get a second? Spirit's coming through.
Chasing, that's some great discipline from Execration. Void had just TP'd him with Chronosphere and was ready to fight that one. And to not chase against a level 11 Timbersaw. Oh, he get the kill!
Instead, they're going to go back on the mid lane. Yeah, it did miss the Timbersaw going down. But they are jumping the Invoker here. Avalanche tossed into the tower. Execration snowballing out of control here and really swagging on Warriors Gaming. They do lose their IO. But well worth it as the Timbersaw ended up dying.
And this is a lot, it goes back to less the draft and more just the ability for individuals to make plays. Queen of Pain rotating, catching the Timbersaw, trying to farm some neutral camps on the retreat. Then the Tiny coming back mid, finding that kill. And this is why, like, Tiny will always go for a blink on a player like Abed, because he is one of those big flashy players who wants to go for the kills, doesn't want to just sit back, farm stacks, play passively. He wants to play aggressive.
And it's not about getting that first kill, it's finding that extra kill that you really need, like going on the Invoker mid, managing to clear up the Timbersaw. Oh, that is how you snowball. 8-2 now the score.
With the tower to follow this up, Abed gets a big cash injection. As the IO TP down to, once again, meet up with him. These two, I'm going to split them apart for too long.
Do you want to point out, guys, these deep wards, though? Somehow they didn't see this one. I guess it got planted after the sentry, perhaps?
Yeah, I think the creep wave will get it. Yeah, there we go. Rain Tree. He's on the job.
My gold. Bad.
But bottom lane is going to become a bit of a trap to farm with Execration having all that vision. I think the play for Execration, though, is more to look to take over the Dire jungle by pressuring this top tier 1, send 3 heroes there and have the IO Tiny able to relocate in.
So as we hit the 14-minute mark, the score, 8-2. Execration firmly in command of this game, but we still have the big team fight for Warriors Gaming always to keep in mind. That Chronosphere into the Chakram, Finger to be deployed over the top, the Sunstrike follow-up. There is some serious team fight potential here.
And with Ravage coming back up, Execration will the ones back in control with their big AoE wombo combo. Ravage, Sonic Wave, ET Earth Splitter. Very powerful tool in itself. And WG have smoked up, but this is very scary. They've got to get a great Chronosphere, and they need to make sure they're the ones getting the jump and taking away one of those big ultimates. They need to kill the Tide in the Chrono or kill the Queen of Pain. If you don't actually burst down the hero in that initial stage of the fight, you're in a lot of trouble.
They time walk in. They get off the first Chrono.
That works.
Only one kill, but a clean one on the core.
Can't really re-engage without the Qual.
But while that was happening, they also found somebody in the mid lane. The Invoker's going to go down. Now the relocate heads up towards top. Ravage committed. They're diving for Chemo. They'll grab him, but on the other side of the fight, 3 heroes down for Warriors Gaming. 1 mid, 2 top. Timbersaw is going to work, though. Remember, this is a 4 strength hero draft against the Timbersaw. That Whirling Death is going to be fearsome. Moves on to RR. Wen could just slow him down. The Chakram coming out again, but a good avalanche. Forces him back. Time walks it off. Gets bashed. I don't know if they can kill him. They even chucked the watermelon in. Go splat, though, on top of them. So it ends up being a 3-for-3. Ravage committed. Chrono committed. Both teams will back away.
He had the Bloodstone, too, on Timbersaw, so
15 charges.
Already starting to pile up. This is a hero that's the player and hero that WG.Unity will be looking to get back in this game. He's the one who's got a snowball, get them a lot of kills, but not exactly a true carry, but he's a hero that can...
I feel like maybe he can be this game with the 4 strength heroes.
He can be the carry who kills heroes, just not buildings.
Right. And that's where you have the Invoker to assist. As Afu gets caught out mid by Nando, has the ultimate, but stunned and fingered, instantly deleted from the fight. Now Abed, hexed up, getting nuked down. Ajit on the chase. Wen also a bit of a lag spike there, but still the pursuit forward, trying to lock him down. Tims does have a tether, just now cooling out. It's too late, they've already lost their Tiny. And instead, Tims is going to tether forward. They're looking for Zaki, but he makes into the trees. The urn, the balls, not enough. Instead, the Elder Titan drops. 3 for 1 now.
That's only 18 Bloodstone charges. Our Jet is getting massive with 2.7k gold. He could pick up a Blink Dagger,
Radiant structures
travel. He can get absolutely monstrous if he wants to.
This appears that
Yeah, this is
Dota didn't like that fight too much.
Timbersaw. I don't like what you're doing to my game here.
This is a long one.
You're not making it fun. I think this happened early.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Unstoppable. Double kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Killing spree. Quick hide.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Goal!
Someone else who will talk you.
Alright, guys, we are back. Back like Navi. And we'll get LD back in just a second. He's just on some of the issues that are going on, but we'll hop right back into this game. Execration. Since leaving, good. It looks like have taken a bit more map control. Kind of get our bearings of where exactly things stand here, and
Apologies for that, folks. Not sure what happened. Looks like we had a bit of an internet hiccup, but we are back. Hopefully we'll stay that way. So, recapping the state of the game. It's still relatively even here. 18-12 the score, around 22 minutes in.
how's our Timber Sword? Has he died? How many Bloodstone charges?
22.
22! Oh, and with a okay, this is actually...
This is Timber Sword versus 4 Strength Heroes.
And
he's loving it.
Strength Heroes who don't really get BKB. Tiny Heroes has to go BKB at some point, but if you go Axe BKB, you do not hit very hard.
You're not going to be able to kill Timber.
Yeah.
Maybe with the Orchid and the Quaffle and the Ravage, but whew, once he gets his next item or two, it's not going to be good enough anymore.
Killing Timber this game is very difficult. Tiny gets an Echo Saber. Okay, that's fine. Alright with this item, but smoke play coming out from WG now. They're looking to get on the move and keep on fighting. Anytime they have Chronosphere, that kills off of this. And rather than just sit back and wait for Execration to come gank them, then relocate in, they're going to be the ones who want to go in the aggressive. Ooh, ET scouts him though. And he'll know that he hit heroes once that spirit comes back.
Gonna get some bonus damage.
You're like, hey, what happened there?
Hey guys, I'm hitting way too hard.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
I think it makes the animation sounds too, even when it hits him in smoke, but not entirely sure. I'm not sure how that.
Sure. I know like some things like Radiance Burn you do not see, but
yes,
not sure about the
the
Spirit.
spirit maybe you do, but you definitely notice when it comes. Well, you can notice if you're being attentive. So it does feel like this is a stage where things will slow down a bit. Execration will probably just respect the fact Timbersaw is a beast they don't want to fight into, and for WG they haven't quite got the same mobility as a IO relocate draft to really get too aggressive on the map, outside of when they can find smoke opportunities. And even then, it's like they smoke up, they don't find anyone, they've got to back off and continue farming.
So, looking long term, do you see this game just slowly tipping one way or the other? Is it still execution based for you gods?
It is, but I think it does tip towards the Malaysian squad. WG.Unity are going to scale better with their 3 cores. Invoker has no problems going late game. BKBs will become the key item to deal with Timbersaw and Invoker. It's great against both these heroes, but the Chronosphere is there. You've got Lion with a Blink Hex. You've got ways to
They're
stop
looking
it.
for more. Relocate coming through. Working on Nana, the Echo Saber. Working its magic, but they don't have the follow-up to continue engaging. I will relocate back. Tim's now TPing to the top lane. They want to continue this fight because Void is coming when moving in. Drops the Chrono. They do have a finger, but a great Elder Titan Stomp is going to prevent that. Doesn't matter. They have the magic damage to bring him down. Same time though, Abed fighting to kill on the backside will kill off the line. Looking for more. They silence up Wet. They now scream him and they go to work. Tiny getting free reign in the backlines, and with the help of that Spirit, they're able to discombobulate the fight and find the 2-for-1.
Timbersaw's just going to try to hide himself in the trees. He does not have a TP.
27 seconds. That's a long time.
They're hugging. They're kissing.
Oh, and they're not.
Oh, he's going to... Ooh.
Jet doesn't want to kiss.
They're pinging up. They must realize he TP'd in because they are pinging like mad.
Find him. Tim's is the new Hunter Seeker. Oh no, he popped out. You thought you were safe. You were very wrong. He does get the Shiva's guard off, but do they have the follow-up damage to finish the job? One more auto attack. Bam!
Oh, huge kill.
It's clubbing time.
730 gold to the hero that was already top of the net worth chart. 3k gold suddenly for Abed. That is a big pick off, a big kill. It's an insta respawn for Timbersaw, but you're starting to take away the Bloodstone charges, and it's a big gold ingest going Tiny's way.
Makes it now a 4k gold lead for Execration, who continue to just, it feels, outmaneuver Warriors Gaming in the fights. Now, Kudia Ravage bottom on to Nana. The relocate comes through. Deleted.
Ooh, kill after kill. This Invoker is not having much fun. 7 deaths.
And you thought that Tiny Io was dead. You were wrong.
It's still a thing apparently. Echo Saber. Whew, good item. I heard some players, Fog being one of them, he's like, man, this item needs a nerf, and seeing part of the power of it here from Abed's Tiny, and they're going to get towers and objectives now slowly. Well, not that slowly, not with the Nag's Tiny.
Moving on towards bottom, there's an avalanche on that catches out Wen, and now getting off the mech. RR runs in circles, just trying to stall here. May just accept his fate, but Nando comes in from the rear. He wants to snipe Zaki. Zaki a bit too close to the tower, it'd be risky to maneuver in. Wen has Link Dagger soon. They can continue chase, they can pursue Nando. Do they go for it? No, it seems he will escape.
Warriors still hunt around a bit, but doesn't look like he'll catch anyone with a chrono. Just the tight kill. Execration happy to probably just slow things down, reset, wait for the next relocate. Wait for Tiny to pick up that next item. Looks like an AC for his selection. He's only 1,000 gold short of it, so become a big scary problem to deal with for WG.Unity. And then you've got not just, I think the carry and fighting potential of the Tiny is still going to be somewhat limited because of not having a BKB into Invoker and Timbersaw, but what this IO Tiny has with the AC is a tremendous amount of split push. There's always that threat of just taking a lane of racks very quickly if you're not ready to defend.
And WG.Unity, if they blow the chrono, if they don't have that for a high ground defense, I don't know if they can hold that easily.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it entirely becomes down to the Timbersaw, who have a lot of pressure on him to perhaps finish an Ag Scepter soon, so he has the double Chakram to defend with. But
And yeah, late game, Tiny may struggle a bit without a BKB if they're all able to focus him, but if you have the relocate save, or he's got an Aegis to work with, he is a very tanky hero to the point that, like, you're not going to burst a Tiny down that quickly at this stage. Later on, perhaps. But I don't think they can easily do it right now.
And the other big tool Execration have is, bursting the Timbersaw's hard, but Earth Splitter, one of those spells that scales very well being percent-based damage into the late game. You know, take away 50% of a hero's hit points like that.
Given a scout towards the pit, Warriors Gaming.Unity, they don't get caught out by surprise. Execration, Tiny have some Roshan taking potential, albeit otherwise not the best lineup for doing so.
Looks like they'll just, I mean, you see the IO Tiny top, it doesn't really tell you all that much because these heroes can instantly be at the Roche pit again, so. All it's going to take is one catch, and potentially we see Execration looking to take a fight around this pit. They smoke up, they want to go.
It's a 5-hero smoke with that relocate as the Spirit returns. Chemo, he's got eyes on heroes moving in. In fact, he knows Warriors Gaming are in position. Void blinks to the left. He finds Nando, walks him down to start the fight. The Ravage is there on the backside, throwing down the entire intercepting force. They will get the Queen of Pain kill, courtesy of the finger. Tiny gets thrown up in the air. He's already brought down one, though. Cannot Jit finish this IO. Tims will fall, and it's trouble now for Abed, who's got to back away. Chain forward, a very short range one. Invoker blinking into Abed, controlled. Cold Snap, he needs that IO support. He doesn't have it, and they likely lose him too. A fight right back the other way. Warriors Gaming ending a mega kill streak, cleaning up 4, and turning this game right on its head.
Yeah, just ability to instantly burst down the IO meant so much. Witch Doctor got up a full duration Death Ward, killing off the ET. Everyone just landed their spells in some fashion. Yeah, Wen doesn't get hits a one-man chrono, but the hero he chronos dies to the finger. The hero that the Witch Doctor uses the Death Ward on dies to the Death Ward. So everybody who landed their spells got one kill. It was like one hero gets one, another hero gets another, and everything just worked out great. Once the IO's down, the Tiny without the IO is actually not all that scary, and without his little tether buddy, that Tiny got dealt with easily at the end of the fight.
Yeah, so now you have an Aghanim Scepter up on the Invoker, BKB on the Void, Timbersaw very close to his next item, and we might see the double boots of travel soon for this team, Gods. Just to be able to match the mobility the IO brings to bear.
This Timbersaw is so big and scary. I feel like a Timbersaw with equal net worth to the Tiny is actually scarier than the Tiny. At least in a kind of standalone setting. With the IO plus Tiny is scarier than the Timbersaw or the Timbersaw plus 1, but if there wasn't an IO in this game, I'd be like, man, Timbersaw is actually like a scarier hero than Tiny.
Timbersaw has definitely been a scarier hero as of late in this patch.
And it doesn't feel like they're going to have ways of dealing with him as this game drags. Like, if anything, he just gets harder and harder to kill later on, so... Well, it looks like WG ready, but Execration haven't said the word go just yet.
They say, go. Go. We go. You go. Everyone goes. We're underway again. 24-18 the score, 31 minutes. Travel now online for the Invoker. Nana gains some mobility. Timbersaw opts to skip his for now, though, Gods. Grabbing a BKB. And if BKB was mandatory for Tiny, I don't know that it was mandatory for Ajit, but he becomes virtually immortal at this stage.
He is damn near impossible to kill. You can't use the Orchid as a tool against him. He can dodge the Ravage, or at least prevent a Ravage coming out onto him.
You have to somehow combo Avatos with Ravage with all the Quap nukes. And then you maybe bring him down to a quarter HP.
It's a lot of ifs.
And then if you don't kill him, the fight completely turns around.
Now you see
Awkward.
Momentum swinging back the way of WG. They've got the gold advantage. They're the ones pressuring towers. And Execration almost need to resort to the split push style play. Tiny's already in the mid lane. Io's just going to be sitting behind, ready to relocate, save him should he be needed, but...
Nice ambush here. Oh, Stomp gonna cancel Nana's TP. That's a bit unfortunate. And RR moving into position. He's gonna Ravage too. And now they look for the relocate follow-up. They're gonna chuck that Invoker right back. Ajit popping the BKB, but he gets hit by the Earth Splitter. Slowed down. Engaging with the Shivas. A 2v5. If ever there was a time for Execration to win a fight, this would be it. Already Aegis down. Now the BKB committed by Nando. Still Ajit. Very healthy. Tossed back, but in comes Kodo. It's gonna find the Tiny. Over the top, the Queen of Pain ult goes. Can they focus Abed down? It looks like they will be able to. Cold Snaps there. It's enough. The Rock has been slain. They've lost no real heroes, only an Aegis. And they do march forward.
It's a big victory for WG.
That was like the dream setup too. You cancel a TP, pop the Aegis to start the fight.
Yep.
And then it just didn't have the follow-up.
On Aegis respawn, the Invoker got instantly silenced, but Nana blinked away while silenced. There was no damage dealt to Nana, so blinked back, pulled Execration deeper away, and basically baited them into that Chronosphere. That Chronosphere completely caught the Tiny out, and from there, Tiny had no way of really fighting. The IO couldn't get to him, and Execration in trouble here in game number 1.
Yeah, and that was basically it at that point. So, can they force anything here? Ravage is down, Queen of Pain ult's down, Earth Splitter's down. Yeah. It seems at least a tier 2 will be in the cards for Warriors Gaming.
Even without the Aegis on Nana, I think likely we see them press forward. No Chronosphere for a little bit as well, but the amount of farm on some of these heroes, the threat of the Timbersaw with his BKB back up is just so potent.
Been quite the run for the Warriors. Continue it now. Nana getting silenced, but Decky there, ready to go with the quick draw. Hex, no stun. He does have a finger available. Hanging onto it for now. He could kill off Tim's, but the cast. Oh, the opts not to get him. Gets stomped by the Elder Titan. They will make it out. Sunstrike. Ooh, almost catches him.
I think somehow he thought that Timber Chain was... He had Blink up. He could have thrown the Timber Chain, blinked forward, and gone through the IO, which looked to be the play he was trying to make, but... I believe his blink was just slightly on cooldown. When's
gonna be KP, play it safe. Tiny's onto him, gets the Echo Saber double attack off. Now retreating with the Time Annihilation, but the EMP Tornado comes through, and then over the top, Nando with the blink, Zaki there to counter with the stun, but it's too late. Nando's already found the kill, they're looking for a bit more. Again, the Echo Saber coming into play, as Zaki too will fall.
Such a
Two
back
down.
and forth with these two.
Yeah. Counter punch for punch. Blow for blow. It is reflected in the graph as well. You can see a lot of peaks and valleys here.
Execration, they could look to continue to press forward. They've got Sonic Wave and Ravage both back up in 15 seconds time, and now an Arcane Rune on the Queen of Pain as well.
Dire's middle tower
To make
is
those
under
cooldowns even shorter.
Right
As-
now, looking at a 28-second cooldown on the Sonic Wave.
There's a buyback on Faceless Void, but that's something Execration would love to force out.
Ravage is available. Chrono also online when the Void does respawn. Warriors Gaming, suddenly their base under siege. They're going to nuke RR. EMP Tornado crashing through. The timing's not quite right though. RR doesn't lose the mana. And now Nando just walking away. Can they focus anyone down? The Void's going to buy back for this. He finds Nando, but he's looking for more. Does he get a bash on Chemo? Not going to happen. Abed on the run as well. Zaki trying to find the Io. They lock him down. Glimmer Cape onto Abed. They do have eyes on him, but the Io's the one they want first. They're going to get him. And now the chase. Ghost Walk. Move forward. Doesn't have a blink. Doesn't have a way out. The avalanche comes through, but it still goes right past Nana. Sprints his way through it. Finger committed. Right back the other way. Warriors Gaming. A buyback committed. But the base is held. Push. Comes rolling back down mid.
Yeah, the chase potential for WG just meant that once the Void had bought back, Execration were just kind of in a tough spot.
They're not done yet though, but hold the meatball, the Destiny Blast. It's Kraken Shell, buddy, but it ain't gonna be enough. Gem hits the deck, Nana picking up steam here.
Really nicely played. And
Doesn't have an inventory slot though. You don't really want to be giving up a drum, so they'll probably send another hero to grab it. That will be when. There's nothing really to contest this.
Push could now target this bottom tier 2 tower with the 4 heroes still dead and respawning. I think for Execration, the one play you could have considered there is just focusing the Rax and just throwing a Ravage to just cure that Rax claim. The tiny Io would have pushed so fast that the Ty could have almost just suicided in with a Ravage. Perhaps you even lose the Io tiny, but that ended up happening anyway, so I think Execration may regret not just committing to a push there. When they try to back off and split up, they get caught out one by one.
Warriors Gaming sieging this tier 2. They will bring it down. So now all that stands between them and their first lane of Rax is a single tier 3 in each lane. But they haven't actually broken through just yet. They'll have to reset here. Roshan, at least 2 minutes away. Be up to 5. We've also gotten some deep wards down, gods. We do see a nice network of vision that's emerged for Warriors Gaming over the past couple minutes.
A lot of vision on the map. They've got an Invoker level 22 Aghanim Steps. We're going to see the around the world Deafening Blast soon. And that's something which, again, Tiny doesn't have the tools to deal with until he has a BKB. This BKB is becoming a necessity for him at this stage of the game.
You can see Abed has accepted it, but even now it also feels like damage could be an issue for him.
Almost worth disassembling the Echo Saber to get BKB, and then you have an item slot to get like a Moonshot. Possibly. You need that extra attack speed. I guess you can try and rely on the Io for the attack speed.
That gets harder as the game moves along.
Yeah, Io's often going to get targeted down, or you want to hide in the trees to use the relocate to save people. If you're tethering, you can't reliably get that relocate save off.
Gent has more on inbound. It's the Aghanim Scepter next for ever farming Timbersaw, still on top of the Tiny. 11, 2, and 8. It's been quite the showing.
Execration need to somehow pull off a big team fight if they want to take this game. Timbersaw is just, his damage output is just absurd. This hero, as far as just pure damage in fights, is unmatched.
That's the BKB. I mean, it almost feels like they have to win fights now while they have a 10-second BKB. This thing gets low enough, you're not bursting Timber.
Yeah.
Still got, I guess, one more item slot if he wants to get rid of the blink. But with his BKB, he's basically immortal, so.
Has hit this nice timing where it's like late, very late in the game when he finally buys it, so he has 10-second BKB at the late game stage, but it does feel like Execration have also missed their timing. They're the ones on the back foot now. You want to have the BKB when you're at one of your kind of peaks, and that feels like maybe 10-15 minutes ago. As a result, WG.Unity happy to perhaps just bide their time, wait for another Roshan if they really want.
Hello, Zachy. Doesn't want him though. Abed's not the choice. It's Tim's. But Tim's, that's where I like to hide. Those are my trees, friend. Zachy gets scared and will run away.
Yeah.
Tim's kind of slow to really react to that. He's like, hey, Lion. Oh shit, I should probably Glimmer Cape to run.
Yeah, it was one of those scenarios where like you realize Zachy's alone, but you're also like, wait, his friends are probably nearby or ready to come in, because...
And you see him running, you're like, oh, I'm fine. Wait a second, he might come back. with numbers. So who do you favor here, Gods? Numerically, Warriors Gaming pretty heavily on top.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to continue in that way. Tiny's kind of the BKB is his last-ditch effort in some ways to give his team a shot to take fights, but I think Io's struggling too much to stay alive, is always getting found by Timbersaw or Invoker or someone. Doctor's always getting off these big casts in fights, and Cask has been a great tool, and that's one of the other big problems with having these melee carries in the front lines like Tiny and Tide, is that it's just too easy for a Witch Doctor to just throw a Cast Maledict and get these kills. So I think Execration just struggling to find a way to execute their team fight by no poor play of their own part, but more just it's the difficulty to execute. Whereas WG just have a Timbersaw run in and throw all his spells and instantly heroes die.
So now they have been imbued with the power of the Aegis. Double BOTs, quadruple blink, double force, an extremely mobile hit squad for Warriors Gaming. Chemo has nearly been brought down up here in the top side of the map. First kill of the fight, gonna go the way of Ajit. They might be able to get the Tiny as well. Abed, he'll be relocated out.
By Tim's.
Say goodbye to your ball of light.
Tiny's already like walking away to farm neutrals. Like, okay.
Oh, he can't even try for the TP frame trick. See ya. Goodbye, little Io. We hardly knew ye.
Initiation on mid.
Initiation with the Quap ult is enough. They get the kill. They're gonna look for Zachy here as well. Force Death blink.
Down.
He's out of there.
Really nice play. They don't even bother with the Orchid because they know he's a BKB, so they just make sure they do as much damage output as possible and curse him.
Bit of a blunder there by Warriors Gaming, and Void out of the game for a full minute. Buyback has just cooled down. I don't know if he has the gold. 2,000, yeah, he actually does if he needs to, but he's not going to.
Really frustrating for WG because that was like a kill in the top at IO. They would have liked to have perhaps at least pressured the high ground, but Void dead, not possible, and they're likely gonna have to wait, despite having an Aegis, wait for the Void to come back.
They need more of those, though.
Yeah, and that pick up on the Void means a lot to Execration. It buys them so much time to whittle away at this Aegis duration, this breathing room for them.
It's only 3 minutes left. But Nana's still pressing a bit. Again, not able to find that Tornado EMP timing. Seems to be struggling a bit.
And
with
now
it.
it's less about the tiny itemization, the Queen of Pain's progression. There's still 2 item slots for Nando, and I just feel Queen of Pain is going to scale better going later in this game than Tiny. Tiny's the base breaker. He's the hero that you win a fight, you win the game off of him. But Queen of Pain's the one that's going to allow you to win team fights.
And also the more mobile hero is Io will not live forever, and then you're more reliant on Queen of Pain to clean up.
A Scythe of Vice is going to be Nando's item choice. Top lane Abed.
Oh, if that Sunstrike hit would have been real scary. Might have forced out the BKB.
2 minutes on this Aegis, and the push has not been able to come just yet. 4 heroes are smoked up on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, creeps are pushing bottom, creeps are pushing mid, and Nana's pushing top. So they will have a good solid window here with a Tiny out in front. They know there's a defensive relocate, or at least that's what they assume. There's actually not. Io's at home. Oh no, Execration. This is a terrible way to lose the game. They have 1 buyback, but the Elder Titan will drop as well.
They saw the Invoker top and that completely threw them off. They just somehow assumed the rest of WG.Unity was going to be sitting behind the Invoker, and
Tim's just wanted to go on a little shopping trip. Tiny's going to buy back. This could be their last stand. Void down though, out for 80 seconds. He already spent his gold buying the point booster. Does not have the money for buyback. Otherwise, I think you just buy back and go for the GG with no Ravage, but instead they're going to lose Afu. They may lose more. Abed glimmering and chasing forward with Tim's behind him. Execration. Bit lucky there that the Void didn't have the buyback.
Yeah.
They will definitely take it all the way to the bank.
Couple of kills in quick succession, and
Gotta say, this is a little sloppy for both teams. Now Nana trapped out. The Aegis still has about a minute left, it looks like. He's gonna BKB, frantically ghost walking, and Timber joins the fray. But now the Aegis down, the BKB committed. They can go for round 2 here. Combo time, Tiny's ready. He gets his BKB off again, the Queen of Pain. Oh, Nana popping the deafening blast and running frantically. He can't blink, he's dead to the club. Now it's just dodge it, orc it up. They chase goes forward. Can they get a 4th? Blink in and blink out.
even the Lion getting in a bit too close there. We'll look for the TP out. But caught.
Abed cages him as well. 4 heroes dead. And Aegis also chewed right through. This is some sloppy Dota gods.
Yeah, and WG just kind of overextend their limits. It's one of those things where you're thinking Tiny's dead. Yeah, he's got a buyback, but let's force the buyback. But you need to force the buyback without getting caught in that Ravage. That was such a good initiation from Ara, setting things up to kill the Void at the start of the fight. And from there, I mean, WG.Unity just did not have the numbers or the ability to fight into the Tiny BKB.
Yeah, it's where, to me, he either needs buyback or he's just got to be better positioned. They don't have a great support to save him if he gets caught.
Well, the next moves from these teams are going to be Tiny does have to play around the lack of buyback for the next 5 minutes. Does mean we'll probably see him purchase something, possibly to replace the Echo Saber. Get a Moonshard or Butterfly's the other possibility, and not that the evasion helps all that much. Butterfly just a pretty good DPS item for Tiny though.
Still little room to grow, but it's especially Nando. Probably a damage item to round things out, I imagine, after this town portal scroll gets replaced by BOTs.
Yeah, I guess one damage item that's not like the unconventional damage item is the Refresher, because you get double Hex, double BKB, and double Sonic Wave. That to me is, well, not really an unconventional item, but that to me is possibly the best damage item, even though it's not like a right-click item.
He's gone for more of the nuker build, no AC or MKB.
Yeah, you can always upgrade the Orchid now is the other nice thing about the Orchid semi-carries and whatnot. You can have this other big late-game item.
Bloodthorn is pretty legit, especially against Timbersaw.
28 Bloodstone charges again on Timbersaw. This is really big in the late game because it gives him effectively 3 lives. If he insta-respawns, he can do back in, he can then die again. Obviously, you're not planning on dying. If you die twice in the fight, you're probably not looking... You're giving up a lot of gold, but a short respawn timer which gives you a bit more strategic value in the late game.
Warriors Gaming smoking. Still, neither team able to claim their first lane of Rax. We're now 47 minutes in, only game 1. A very quick earlier series, a rather decisive performance, but this one looks like it will be a long haul for both teams. Warriors Gaming unsuccessful in their quest for blood and kills will be deterred by good map awareness from Execration. Nando even able to go bottom and split push.
Just one of the really nice things about the Ag Scepter is just that ability to spam out lanes.
I actually have a TP for 8 seconds, but should be okay.
Yep.
Once the tower.
Yeah, it is deniable, but
that gold.
If he wants to commit a BKB, it may not be possible. He's going to Hex and go for okay.
Nice. See ya, buddy. No tornado anymore.
Yep.
No way for Nana to stop that.
Yeah, and you're not scared of a Deafening Blast since that doesn't cancel TPs anymore.
You know, it's not often, God, that you'll see a Queen of Pain have a very underwhelming laning stage, even an underwhelming mid game, and then come back in the late game, but that's exactly what's happening here. Nando is very close to the Invoker's net worth. Right there with his own Tiny, and not too far off the Timbersaw. I mean, you mentioned it's going to be more about the Queen of Pain than the Tiny if they're going to win, and right now, Queen of Pain is right there with him.
Well, looking just fine, and Tiny Daedalus is going to be his item, so he doesn't go for the attack speed option, the crit. The one kind of damage item that Tiny gets a lot of benefit from with his high base damage. And yeah, Queen of Pain, I really, hats off to Nando's. Played very well and recovered after a slightly slow start.
One concern here for Execration, though, is the lack of vision. It just takes one good chrono. Execration crawled their way back into this game, but they might be in danger here up top. Queen of Pain is the BKB. Blinks herself out. No chrono to lock them down. Sunstrike, having a fish.
Oh, BKB wall.
Oh, boy.
They needed, well, didn't have the cold snap up, but needed vision. Going to get that one.
Gotta be careful. Next time might not be so lucky. And they also have a Hex here on the Timber as well, mind you, so.
Jeez, this guy's just pulling items out of nowhere.
What did he replace?
Didn't
he have
Did he have to replace something? He had a Shivers, yeah, he's Bloodstone, then you got Shivers, then you got BKB, then you got Ags,
Maybe he had Raindrops earlier or something.
Yeah. He upgraded boots. Oh, he's got that fairly late, the boots of travel as well.
Mm-hmm. Timber mostly done farming now. Yes. T2s are up.
Invoker, similar position, although hasn't decided what that last item slot will be. Although typically you will just see the refresher there as well.
Do you favor anything else this game, or?
No. I think you're going that ultra late game where BKBs get shorter and shorter. Tiny. Okay, he's 9 seconds because you're not fighting, but at some point you're going to imagine that you're going to play towards a scenario where BKBs may get short, though. Whether your 6th item is refresher or your 7th, there should be a refresher in there somewhere, so you may as well, like, I figure buying it now is fine, and then if there's an item you want to replace it with, you can, and just keep it in your stash.
This game just feels like it could get weird real quick with so many boots of travel entering the field, the tiny IO, some big base race potential, the instant respawning.
Just about to say, it's a Timber. Huge amount of farm on this Tide. Felt like WG.Unity were kind of slightly doing better in this current position, but then I look over at the net worth, I'm like, Tide is 17k net worth. This is actually, Tide is one of the best late game heroes to have with double Ravage, and exactly what we're going to see now in these upcoming fights.
Oh, that dire scan, it wears off the second that Nando walks in, but already Roshan claimed Aegis Cheese will be grabbed. The Void gets the Aegis. That's a big pickup. Nana having caught out. It's a complete airball though from Wen, and he doesn't have an negative scepter. It's going to be a very low cooldown here on the Chronosphere still. Going to work on Abed, trying to bash him, focus him down. He tanks the Queen of Pain, time walks it off. Will heal right back to full HP, and meanwhile on the backside of the fight, they have managed to lock down the Temple. They commit a Ravage for him, not doing too much with that Ravage. Nando in danger. Tim's already having used the relocate, unable to save his buddy, so now the Queen of Pain down. Everybody on the run. They just are not easily dealing with Odjet. 28 Bloodstone charges, essentially a full HP Timber, killing all the trees in front of him. He hates trees, he hates heroes, he wants this Elder Titan. Give me your stapler, he says. Now, throwing out the Chakram along with the Place of Ice. They control Chemo, they'll bring him down. A secondary Ravage, Tony coming in hot, gets off some good auto attacks. Might be able to bring down Odjet, he will. Respawning in 12 seconds, Nana forced to scramble, back away. Round 2 of the fight, a whole lot sweeter for Execration. But they have an Elder Titan buyback, still the stun coming through. Oh boy, Timber Saw's coming. Abed in danger, there's no relocate. They can focus him, there's the Hex. The chase moving forward, BOT in, then the chain. They look for a bit more. They've got the detection. They lock him down. They finish him off. Out for 120. Time to buy back.
Ooh, that was such a uncoordinated team fight from Execration, especially the blink in with the Hex. No follow-up. The Earth Splitter missed.
Committed one Ravage on the Timber. I think it only hit the Timber on the south side of the fight there as well.
And his teammates were all to the north, nowhere nearby, and they tried to set up the Earth Splitter from ET, entirely missed because the IO woke up the sleeping hero with a Spirit accidentally. Like, everything that could go wrong went wrong for Execration. Every single item and spell was poorly used that fight.
And that was with the complete airball of a Chrono, but now Wen has the Aghanim Scepter, and it's back up, so we're looking at a kill every minute. Pretty much guaranteed unless he airballs it again. RR will drop here. Now Wen, he finds one hero Chrono once more, and there is a relocate available, but Chemo, that's a dieback. No Elder Titan for 80 seconds. Can Nando do it? Can this guy turn the fight around? Doesn't even have an ultimate. He gets dashed, focused by the Timber. No chance in hell. A dieback on the Queen of Pain. RR on the run. They want the Tiny too. Rocks will fall. Trees are no match. Execration don't have the answers. It's Warriors Gaming. Hook, line, and sinker. They wiped the floor with Execration in the one big fight they needed. They end this game with a 4,500 gold cherry on top, and they are now out to a 1-0 advantage in the best of 3.
Man, one of those games that just comes down to that one deciding team fight, if we can call it that, but That's one of those fights that if you're Execration, you'd like to play that one over and just have a redo. They completely fumbled it. The Queen of Pain with that Blink Hex initiation with no teammates inside. The Tiny tries to follow up with his Blink in, but they're not going to kill. Like, the Tiny didn't even go for the Invoker for one thing. It wasn't an instant follow up. He went for the Void who had Aegis, so there was no real clear